Hello, everyone. I'm Dan.
And I'm Riley.
And welcome to the next episode of That One Podcast.
This week, we're talking to Megan, who is the owner of CrossFit Tipton, and she is taking over an American family insurance business here in town as well. They happen to be right next door to each other. But we talk about what it's like owning two businesses in Tipton, and we get into some nitty gritties about what CrossFit is and the community that they've built here in Tipton. So great episode to hear some insight about another dual business owner in Tipton, and then also just some tips and fun things to learn about living a healthier lifestyle.
All right, let's get into the next episode.
Megan, welcome to That One Podcast. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Excited to talk. We're talking CrossFit. We're talking insurance. We're talking being a small business owner in Tipton. So, yeah, before we jump into it, why don't you go ahead and just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about both now businesses that you're going to be a part of.
Yeah, so I'm Megan Zabst. I'm not from Tipton. I'm a transplant, but I grew up in Lafayette. My family and I, we moved here almost 4 years ago now, and I was actually a member at CrossFit Tipton since 2020, right after I had my first daughter, and it really is what drew me to Tipton. We just have been able to plant roots here and really feel like a good sense of where this is where we're supposed to be. So that's really exciting, and I never saw myself as a business owner, to be honest. Yeah. I really just thought I would be doing the same thing I was doing 5 years ago. And, when there's something that nudges your heart to do something different, you just have to take the leap. So that's kind of where I'm at. That's where I'm here.
Nice.
I got the opportunity to purchase CrossFit Tipton in 2023 from Sophia Pfeiffer, and just knew that the community that we had built there just deserved to continue and the legacy that she created. And so that's what led me there. I was coaching at CrossFit. Again, our community is amazing. And then fast forward to now, I have a second opportunity to inherit another business here in town. So our local American family insurance agent, Brian Messersmith, he's retiring at the end of January, and I will be taking over for his clients and just kind of stepping into his shoes and carrying on the legacy that he has had for over 30 years here in this community as well. So
awesome. Yeah,
just a cool place. Happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm also technically a transplant. I don't live here, but I work here. Yeah. I'm here all the time. But, I think that's how a lot of small business owners specifically get a start. It's not like I didn't go to school with the intentions of being a business major or starting a business or anything. I just enjoyed what I did in the marketing space and then saw a need, and people kept asking me to help, and here we are. So I think it's a pretty common story among small business owners. So it's really cool. But for the CrossFit Tipton, specifically, you said you were a coach there, correct?
Yeah. So I started as a member in 2020. I had just had my first daughter, and literally brought her with me to try it out. As a former collegiate athlete, I needed that thing to push me back to, to just feel strong again. And that was my goal when I started at CrossFit in 2020. And was a member till about 2022 when Soph and I had a conversation about me coaching. We started that in 2023, pretty much very shortly before she mentioned it was going to be for sale. So got an opportunity to just be a member first, and I think that was just helped me develop the love for CrossFit. And just in general, like, again, that feeling of being strong and reminding myself that I can do the hard things even as a new mom. A lot of moms think that your life just changes so much when really you can have something that reminds you of who you were before kids. Which is what CrossFit was for me.
Yeah. Awesome. So now with the second venture, we'll get into more down the road, but what sparked that decision to take on more as now a dual business owner?
Yeah. A little bit insane, right? But honestly, it was just my drive to be here and be closer for my family. I have not one daughter, but two, and they're young. My oldest is 5. She just started kindergarten this year. So, just all the demands that school can place on parents, 2-hour delays, just like this morning, cancellations, field trips, just all the things that I really wanted to be plugged in. As a working mom, it's really hard to do unless you're working for yourself or you're working for a boss that understands that and supports that. And so really when the opportunity for the gym came about, I saw that as a vehicle to eventually get me there and to be more plugged in here locally. Again, we feel a really strong pull to Tipton. So when the insurance agency came up, that was like the sign for me of like, okay, this gives you an opportunity to not have only your, side business as the gym, because I worked a full-time job when I bought it.
Yeah.
But now to have my full-time job also be here in Tipton, also be a business owner, create my own schedule, be present in all the ways I wanted to be, it sealed the deal for me.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Flexibility is one of the biggest perks, 100%. In my opinion. There's months that you struggle. There's months that are great, but if I need to go take off and take the dog to the vet, it's like literally no hassle. I don't have to ask my boss for permission or whatever it may be. And that's probably the biggest perk of being a small business owner.
Yeah.
Obviously long hours come with it too, but it's a trade-off. So.
Yeah. There are demands that nobody else will understand, but the payoff is well worth it. So.
Yeah. So you're jumping into your second business now. When does that officially take
we
place?
Officially opened our agency doors virtually, I guess, in October.
Okay.
Currently, our office space is under construction. BMS Enterprises is doing all the construction there.
Gotcha.
Over actually on the same city block as CrossFit Tipton. So I'm very fortunate to be able to have both businesses literally within feet of each other. Again, another sign for me.
Yeah.
But that technically officially opened in October. But we will, when Brian Messersmith retires in January, we will take over his book of business in February. So we're hoping to have the doors actually open in January and then have like a welcome party, all the things in like February or March.
Cool. Yeah. Now you just need your house on the next place over. So it's all within, a 50-yard stretch. You can just walk to all 3.
Yeah.
So that's cool. When you think about, obviously owning 2 businesses, it's investing a lot of not just money, but time and energy into Tipton. Yeah. Why was, you said you moved here a few years ago. Why was Tipton the place you chose to do that?
So we decided to move here for a multitude of reasons. One was the space that we were able to have. So we ended up building a home out in the county.
Okay, I take back my previous statement. And you probably don't want to live.
We won't be moving to the actual in-town limits at any time. But that was what drew us to Tipton, was to have a space. And so when we found that space and we were able to just dive more headfirst into the community that is Tipton, we just found positives like all the way around. Yeah. There was, a good school system, our kids, good community people. I already had an in of the community, being in the CrossFit gym, and our community within our bigger community is amazing. And I'm so thankful for those people. But then just to know that like we'll have that space outside of town is, it was a no-brainer for us. So just really the whole package, truly.
Yeah. And you talk about community, and that's a big thing for us here on That One podcast and everything we do at Tipton One. How important has the community been for growth and sustainability of CrossFit Tipton and just your life in general?
Yeah. So speaking to CrossFit, I wouldn't have been able to transition from a coach to an owner without the support of our members. They absolutely have given me grace. I'm going on 2 years now of just over 2 years of ownership, and they continue to show me grace on every new idea, every new event, every new crazy thing that I try with them. They're like, yes, let's do it, and support us wholeheartedly. So truly, and they do that with not just me as an owner, but just as everyday members. If there are people that, have had a rough day at work, they're going to rally around them and be like, hey, we got you here. And it's just that support that not only, is within those four walls, but we can truly feel it outside those four walls. And, CrossFit Tipton is just the vehicle that brought me here. My goal is to truly plug into that sense of community, not only by helping people move physically, but also helping them feel confident in their, daily decisions as far as like the insurance and the what you're spending your money on and all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
Really to have an opportunity to be a servant leader is what I'm finding a reward in both of these opportunities. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
So before we get much further into this conversation, I guess we should talk about CrossFit in general for people who might not know what it is.
Yeah, it can be scary.
We had Travis from Pfeiffer's,
Sure,
which for the longest time, being a transplant, when I came in, there's like CrossFit and then there's Sophia Pfeiffer, but then there's Pfeiffer's gym. And I was like, what is going on? But I know the whole spiel now. But so for somebody who doesn't know what CrossFit is, can you kind of give a brief explanation of what it is?
Yeah. So CrossFit in a nutshell is functional fitness, just done at various intensities. So we do things that translate into everyday life, but with a modification appropriate for whichever type of athlete comes into our gym. So we have members all the way up until their 70s that are daily visitors, all the way down into their teens. And a few years ago, we hosted a CrossFit Kids camp throughout the week in the summer. So there's really opportunities for all age ranges. And it's truly just doing things that help us put off the nursing home for as long as we can.
Yeah. That's sweet. So you talk about different ages and different modifications and things. It is interesting to see how people can adapt and do the same functional movements, whether you're 70 or you're a 20-year-old in college, home for the summer, working out at the same time, just doing it differently.
Yeah. It's amazing to see. Sometimes our 70-year-olds outwork some of our younger clientele, and it's just really cool to see how it resonates with each person differently in some sort of way. Some people will say they want to keep up with their grandkids. Others are training for collegiate sports. And everywhere in between. This will be a hill that I stand on proudly, that CrossFit is for everybody and every body. It doesn't matter what place you're at athletically, physically, it doesn't matter. There is always an avenue for you, and you'll be led every step of the way. That's the one thing about CrossFit, is you don't have to have something in mind when you step through doors. The hardest part is just stepping through the doors. Yeah.
And I will say, like, from my experience playing sports all through high school and went to college to play sports, ended up not, but getting even back, into working out after college, being in my 30s now, I haven't done a specific CrossFit gym, like with the name CrossFit in it, but I went to D1 Fitness. Have you heard of that? There's one in Noblesville that I went to, and I will say it's different than just going to Pfeiffer's gym or whatever. It is different than just going there, sitting, relaxing. I'm going to do some dumbbell workouts, but it's more motivating in my opinion. It gives you something. One, a lot of times it's group classes, correct? Or 90% of the time, even whatever it is.
Yeah, we currently only offer group classes. We're looking to expand our personal training in the future. There was personal training at one point, but all of our offerings right now are completely group fitness, and it's the accountability portion, right? Like you have, you sign up for a class, you reserve your spot, you have a group of people that are expecting you to show up, not just the coach, but your classmates, that end up turning into friends and even feel like family. And that's my whole goal is, a lot of times going into a gym like Pfeiffer's, and any time while there's tons of equipment to choose from and there's so many possibilities, to come into CrossFit, you don't have to think about what you're going to do with all of that. You know that you're going to have a coach that's certified in those movements that is going to help you move safely, and they're going to tell you what to do every step of the way. All you really have to do is be able to count, and I don't think that's that bad.
No.
So,
unless you're so tired. That
right.
But then
which will still help you.
Oh, yeah.
But it's the accountability piece that a lot of people need that in order to feel like they got what they wanted to get out of going to the gym.
Yeah. Personally, that's when I went through a lot of weight loss a couple years ago, actually. And that when I started going to D1, it was like it took it to another level.
100%.
I don't know if it was the functionality, like the functional movement or just like the accountability, but like it was more than just probably the constant heart rate is a big piece of that, is you're always moving.
Yeah. And a lot of people think that, you can go and spend 2 or 3 hours in a gym and you're going to get a lot out of it, but that doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah.
And so that's where we tend to focus a lot on like the overall picture. So yes, our classes are just an hour, and people, sometimes might think, oh, that's not enough time to get everything I want done. But we are getting your heart rate up into those right zones. We are getting you moving. We are making sure you're warmed up and you're cooled down. But we're also going to talk to you about, what are you eating? How are you sleeping? How much water are you drinking? What's your stress level? We genuinely are concerned with not only what happens to you inside that hour, but the other 23 hours. And that's really cool to see, and just give people that support that they might not get other places. They might, but with us, it's a staple.
Yeah. It's nothing against the people that go to a gym and work out on their own, but there is something to say for everybody's probably seen the person that sits at a bench or a machine, does 10 reps and then sits there for 7 to 10 minutes in between reps. And it's like, are you really doing much? Yes, you're getting a lift in, but it's not like, it's just a whole different.
It impacts people differently, right? So like some people genetically can respond well to those things. Some people genetically cannot. Yeah. I know as a mom, like I wasn't seeing the results I wanted postpartum and even before kids. I mean, as a collegiate athlete, you have that regimented schedule, and that's what I was missing. Yeah. I was missing the accountability of, I've signed up for class. I have to show up. People are counting on me. And that is just a different aspect. And again, there are people that absolutely see results from going in, doing their own thing. They want to go in at, 4 a.m. because that's what works best with their schedule. Absolutely. Yeah. And we support those people too. But for CrossFit, it really checks a lot of boxes for a lot of people.
Yeah. It's something, even thinking back now, it's like when I walked in the doors at D1, coach was already there. Tamario was his name. He, instantly yells your name from across the gym. Let's go. It's like, it's just a whole different vibe and feeling, and 100%. It is very motivational to go to. So I definitely recommend it. I don't know like what your practice is in terms of like people trying it out or anything, but like definitely if you're trying to get in better shape or just be healthier overall, give it a try. Yeah. Try one class.
We always offer a free week to everybody.
Okay.
So we give 5 classes to our new members. They have 2 weeks to use them because schedules can vary. Yeah. You might not come. And if you are starting from literally square one,
5 days in a row might be
a lot. 5 days is a lot. Yeah. So we want you to be able to come back, and so we give 5 classes over the span of 2 weeks to use. Cool. And we're going to check in with you multiple times throughout that free trial. Mm-hmm. But it also gives them a chance to see the various sets of workouts and programming that we have. So not every day is the same. No day is really the same. Yeah. Whether it's the same movement and different sets and reps and intensities and all that, or it's just a completely different day. But all of our new members can try it out for a full week, get a taste of it, and then, see, okay, how does this best fit for the goals that you have?
Yeah. So you mentioned CrossFit Tipton. It feels like its own community within a community. Can you talk about that and why that is such an important piece of the CrossFit mindset and, just the mindset, I guess.
Yeah. So we are, as humans, are designed to be in community with other people. I wholeheartedly believe that. And I know that my postpartum journey would look a whole lot different if I didn't have that community that I found within CrossFit. And it's not necessarily for everybody. Not everybody wants that in their gym life. But I have found that when you're doing hard things amongst other people who are trying to do hard things, it makes that hard thing just a little bit easier. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what the community within CrossFit is all about. Not just here, but any CrossFit gym that you would go to. Our policy is that we wait to clean up anything until the last person is done working. And that alone, just hearing other people cheer you on, knowing that you can do this because they believe you can, even when you don't believe in yourself, is something that is unmatched anywhere else that I've found. And I used to be a personal trainer where I was encouraging people one-on-one, and it's just different. Your coach, a lot of people feel like, oh, my coach has to be there, right?
Yeah.
But these other people are choosing to do this hard thing alongside you, and that is just something special.
Yeah. So now to branch it out into the bigger community, how do you see local businesses playing a role in shaping the culture and future of a small town through community?
It's definitely just about making people feel welcome. Like I said earlier, the hardest thing about CrossFit is truly just stepping through the door. And if people feel welcome enough by word of mouth or referrals to just come, just show up, we'll help you through the rest. You don't have to do it alone. And I think that's a huge thing that I can see, and particularly in my own businesses, like I want people to feel safe and supported and welcome, so that they feel confident enough that they can try these new things, and that they are willing to step into this new season and try this hard thing, and know that even if they fail, that's okay, because we fail all the time, and they're supported through that.
Yeah. So shifting now to the insurance side of your life, which is, two completely different things, but
very, very, very different.
So you're taking over for an American Family agent. What kind of insurance are you offering? Like home, rental, car, kind of cover all of that?
So we do home, auto, life, small business, commercial, farm, ranch, pretty much anything you could think of other than health insurance.
Okay.
I will stay out of that realm.
Yes.
But we can help with all kinds of the things that you legally have to have, right? So you have to have car insurance to drive on the road. Your mortgage will require it for your home, et cetera, et cetera. And we truly want to help people understand the why behind insurance and what you're purchasing and what you're spending your hard-earned money on. So that is it in a nutshell.
Yeah. So you've been in ownership of the gym for a couple of years. How does owning a gym influence how you approach this new business when you, especially, comes to building the relationships of your community, which the insurance, it is a community. Your insurance agent should be somebody that you can call and have a conversation 100%. With and feel comfortable talking to.
Yeah. And that's my goal, is to be seen as a trusted advisor in the insurance things of your life. Because a lot of times people will come to me with questions, and I'll, ask, hey, did your agent currently explain this to you? And they'll be like, no, I have no idea what that is. Similar to CrossFit is a family, 100%. And that's the goal. And that's my same goal with my insurance agency is I want people, when they step into our office, to feel welcome and warm and like it's inviting, and that they can share with me all of their concerns and their questions, and not feel like they have to, shy away from something because they don't understand, or like they're going to be made to feel less than. So same thing, it's all about, again, making people feel safe and supported, and like they are valid in their questions and in their inquiries.
Yeah. I think hopefully you don't have to talk to your insurance agent very much. That's a good life.
Yeah.
But when you do, you want somebody that you can trust and is part of your community and is there for you in your time of need.
And there are life events that happen to us, so much that people don't think about, that ties back into this, that you need to protect, having a new baby, getting a mortgage, adding a new car. All of those things are stuff that you want to make sure are protected if something bad does happen. And I want to be that for people they're like, okay, I know that if something happens to this, I can go to Megan and she's going to walk me through it. She's going to be there as a support, as well as just a knowledgeable advisor on these things.
Yeah. So owning two businesses comes with a lot of rewarding benefits, but there's also challenges. 100%. I think all three of us stands behind the camera can talk about challenges of owning a small business.
100%.
What's been the most challenging part so far in the past few years for you?
Definitely just finding the balance, right? I have an amazing support system at home. I would be not able to do half of the things I do without my husband, and even without my kids being just raring and ready to go. They get excited to go with me to class and, to be inside the gym and see all of our friends is what they call them. So just without that and without my faith to know that this is the calling that God's put on my life is, I would be nowhere without it. And that makes having to balance all the things just a little bit easier to know that, the servant leadership that I hope to show to people, is valid, and there's lots of hard things, but there are so many good ones, and there's so many good in people, or there's so much good in people that it makes the balancing act worth it. But it is hard sometimes. There are days that, I do have to take them with me when maybe they want to be playing with their friends or something, you know what I mean? But because my husband works full time as well, so it's that being working parents in this day and age is just different. Yeah. And but I know that the good that we can do and the service we can give to people, even if it just is a thank you at the end of a phone conversation or a high five or a hug at the end of a class, it just makes it all that much worth it.
So how do you manage all of this on, what does your calendar look like day to day? Is it, running from kids, CrossFit, insurance, back to CrossFit, insurance again, and then there are people that have this insane schedule broken down every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes of their calendar to a T. What does your calendar look like? Are you, planned and structured like that, or is it kind of just every day wake up and some things are planned, but you just go with the flow?
I would say there's a little bit of go with the flow, but for the most part, it's very structured. Very much lots of time blocks, lots of planning in advance. And my friends and family, they've gotten to know that if we aren't on the calendar in a few weeks in advance, then it's probably not going to happen. Yeah. But it's also just having people that support your dream and your hustle and your, what you are striving to do. But it's very full. My bosses are great, so that's really, that helps. Yeah. But a lot of times, I get to balance the mom in the morning, the entrepreneur during the day, the coach in the evening, and then back to being a mom. And, to have resources in this community, like where our youngest goes to daycare and having, extended hours there, and our oldest, she goes to the Boys and Girls Club, and that alone is a godsend. It's utilizing all of those things and the community that we have here that really makes it all successful, but lots of structure.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
So on the flip side of the challenges is the rewarding side of things. Is there a moment where you realize okay, this is why I do this? Is there one particular moment?
I would say there is a moment daily. Okay. And I'm blessed enough to be able to say that. An example on the insurance side is just when I get to sit down and I have a conversation with a new client and yes, was I able to save them money? That's great. Doesn't happen like that all the time, but also just to give them peace of mind to know that they have the right policies in place. They are protected. They have an ally for when things do go wrong, or even if they just have a question, and for them to feel comfortable enough to share their life story, to know these are the struggles they've had in the past, and that they feel like they're in a better place now than they were before. And then on the CrossFit side of it is just knowing that these people are truly taking time out of their day for just themselves. Mm-hmm. When life pulls you in several different other ways, it's really hard to be like, no, wait a second, I need a moment for just me. And it's all types of people, not just moms, not just dads, business owners, teachers, whatever it may be. That is truly an hour where you can just be you and only you, and you can shut out the rest of the world. And it might be the best hour of your day that day. Yeah. And just to know that they made it through and they feel better leaving, that is truly, it's just some of the coolest things to see how people can take that success and it turn their whole day around.
Yeah.
Or it start their day off, right? People come in our 5:30 a.m. class and they're like, I need this in order to have a really good day.
Yeah.
And that's really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, you have two businesses now. For someone, and you said, it was like a calling. Both of the times that you stepped into owning these businesses felt like a calling to you. For somebody who's in Tipton or watching this, who's thought about starting a business but hasn't taken that leap yet, what advice would you give them?
Take the leap. It honestly, it might seem scary, and it probably is terrifying. There are still days that I'm like, is this my life? I don't actually believe that. But whether you're a faith person or not, Tipton in general will come up alongside you and they'll support you. I have been fortunate enough to carry on legacies of already established businesses. So I can't speak from the perspective of like starting them, but I do know that a lot of times if you try to carry on a business, people can either let it flop or they can come alongside you. Mm-hmm. And I've been fortunate enough so far to where people have just come alongside. Yeah. And I'm excited to see how Tipton continues to rally around new things that come here. And, growth can be scary, but it's needed in order for our next generation of kids to have a place where they want to come back to.
Yeah.
I went away from my hometown to school, and it was great. Best thing I ever did. But it gave me a new appreciation for where I came from, and I came back afterwards. And that's what I hope for my kids. My girls are young, 5 and almost 3. So they have still several years through the school system. And I want them to have a place where they're like, yeah, I can come home, and I'm excited to come home.
Yeah.
So,
and I hadn't even thought about this yet, but when you were talking about you came into these 2 businesses, it's almost scarier, in my opinion, jumping into a business that's had previous ownership, because naturally you're going to have different ideas than Sophia. Sure. You're going to have different ideas on the insurance side of things. Not saying one way is better than the other by any means, or that Sophia did something wrong and you made it better. Absolutely not. But there are people that have those thoughts in mind, and it's like you change one small thing. It's like, oh, well, you alienate yourself from this person or this group of people, where starting a new business, you start from scratch and every opportunity is new. It's almost kind of scarier, in my opinion, to take over a business than start one from scratch.
There's definitely are people gonna be on board? Mm-hmm. Are they gonna like me as a person?
Yeah. Are
they gonna like my ideas? There are traditions, absolutely, that I will carry on in both aspects. There are things that CrossFit Tipton opened in July of 2017. There are still things that I will do that we did back then. Mm-hmm. And there will be things on, the insurance side that Brian offered at his office that I will continue to do as well. But yeah, it's absolutely a risk to be like, hey, I'm not them, but I promise to continue what they have built, and that foundation is the same. Yes, there are different ideas and things that change, but that just comes naturally with the way that society changes and the world changes and all that stuff. But that's why I think it's so important to invest in like the core of your people and the community side of it, because if they genuinely can see that you're trying and that you're making an investment into them, or that you actually care, then they're more willing to be like, yeah, okay, we support her. Yeah, I still want to be here, because it's more than about like the community.
Yeah.
Again, bringing it back to that, than it is about the thing, right? Because like there's CrossFit gyms in Kokomo, there's CrossFit gyms in Westfield, Frankfurt. Like people could drive to those. They could, if they truly wanted to do CrossFit, they could choose to drive those and go to those. But I think what's special about us here is that like, we are here. We are plugged in here. We just did 'Tis the Season for the first time, which was so fun, and we'll continue to do those things. But I think there's a risk, but the reward is just as big.
Yeah. Did you have people working out on the side of the road in the cold?
No. No.
Hey, free 20-minute class in the freezing cold.
No. We no. The equipment gets really cold in the wintertime, so yeah. I wouldn't make random people do that. But we did get to do things like Encore had a lifestyle seminar a few months ago, and we brought a rower to that, and like that was cool to see. Again, people 55 and over sit down on the rower and realize that like, oh, okay, my body can still do these things.
Yeah.
So not at 'Tis the Season, but who knows, WorkFest, maybe like there's opportunities for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what do you hope CrossFit Tipton and the new insurance side of things, looking 3 to 5 years from now, what does that look like for you?
just impacting more people, making people feel more like they are a part of a family that's outside of their blood family, because life isn't always fair to people with the family that they are dealt. But if they need a second family to help support them and truly allow them to feel like themselves, like that's what I want to do, and just continue to serve people and love on them, because that's really what I feel like this world needs right now is love and more love. And to know that we have the opportunity to do that is truly what it's all about. So my goal, for CrossFit 3 to 5 years is just to have more people. And it's not a financial thing. It's none of that. It's truly just to give people a space where they feel like they can be them. And meanwhile, showing them that they can do hard things that they never thought they could do. A lot of people see CrossFit and they think, scary, like super fit, like people that you see on the
CrossFit games on
CrossFit
TV.
games.
Yeah.
But that's truly couldn't be more like further from the truth for us. Mm-hmm. Our community is, even within the CrossFit community, is just different. It's truly normal people that look like everyday people you would see in the grocery store. They just come and they know that, physically they're going to have benefits from moving their body, getting their blood flowing, being healthier. And it's a journey, and to have people alongside you in that journey just makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
So that is my goal. In 2027, we are going to have that's our 10-year anniversary. So we'll have a little party.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a big party, but that would be cool to just have like that as like a community event. So working on getting those things planned for that as well. But that's really what I see for CrossFit, is just to love on more people. Yeah. And then on the insurance side is just to really just have people see us as an advisor, as we're not an Edward Jones, we're not a CPA or anything like that, but like when it comes to your insurance and the things that you're going to get an ID card in the mail and all those mundane things that people don't really think about, just for them to be able to have the confidence and to know that hey, the worst thing in my life happened, I can go and I can have a seat in Megan's office and she's going to be there to help me walk through every step of it.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Yeah.
When you think about Tipton's future in general, what excites you most about being invested here for the long term?
There's just so many possibilities, truly. Just from even the 4 years that we've been plugged in here, and not even truly like plugged in, right? Like we became residents in 2022, but I was still working in Indy. My husband was still working in Alexandria. Like we weren't really plugged. Our kids weren't in school yet. So now to see it from a different lens of like, there truly are so many opportunities for people to not only like be invested here, but also just come and like visit here. Everybody says, we want to go and see the lights in Indy or whatever the attraction is. We have an opportunity to have that here in Tipton of, we're going to go to Horton's for this weekend. I have family that lives in Lafayette and they're like, hey, what's the name of that store in Tipton? Like, yeah. And so it's just cool to have that start to become like the new norm, and just the people that we have that are willing to support those things is really cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, let's wrap up with some quick hits here.
Sure.
How do you get your caffeine fix? Coffee or energy drinks?
Both. It used to be energy drinks, but I'm trying to be better, and so now it's quickly changing into coffee, for my caffeine fix.
Yeah.
So.
I go back and forth.
Yeah.
Depends. I go stretches where it's coffee, and then I can't stand drinking hot coffee in the summer, so it's like
definitely an iced coffee person for me, because inevitably I will take the first drink and it will burn my mouth and I'll never be able to taste it again. Yeah. So definitely an iced coffee person.
Awesome. Early mornings or late nights or both?
No, late nights for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not
So you're not the 5:30 instructor?
No,
okay.
No. I thank God every day for my coach Mark in the morning for sure.
Yeah. What's your favorite local place to support, whether it's food, shopping, whatever, whenever you're not at work?
That's a tough one. I definitely am a fan of the Love Bug. The breakfast there, I think, is just top notch. But as far as like evening, I would say we're big fans of the Shack. Their wings, just really good. Shopping wise, also partial to the Feel Goods, but I recently stopped into the PB&G boutique. Love their selection of things, and I love that they have like a men's section as well.
Yeah.
I definitely think that's hitting a niche that we don't necessarily have here.
Very true.
Yeah, I would say those are probably the most.
Yeah.
But I'm always a big fan of Cake Donuts also, so each street gets a plug.
Yeah, fair. We need your help convincing the ladies from the Feel Goods to come on the podcast. We've tried.
Okay.
But
I'll stop by later.
Next time you're in there, be like, hey, I did it. You can do it too.
I can imagine
I know they're
why.
probably watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's okay.
Hey, Elena.
Yeah. One thing every small business owner should know before starting.
Make sure you have a why. Because if you don't have a why, people will see through it.
Yeah.
And make sure your why means something to you. I learned that earlier on in just like my professional life in general. And as long as your why is truly the foundation for what you do, you'll find people that will support that why. Whether they know it outright or not, they'll find ways to connect with it. And then you will then have an opportunity to be truly vulnerable with them and share it, and then it will change the game.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think that's a very good advice to end on.
Yeah.
So thank you again.
Yeah.
Let's give a final plug for where people can find out more information about both of your businesses.
Absolutely. So CrossFit Tipton, you can go to our website, www.crossfittipton.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, all the socials. Cool. And then for my insurance agency, so we also have a Facebook, Megan Zabst and Associates, LLC for American Family Insurance. We do have a website as well, meganzabstassociates.com. Same thing on all the socials. And then currently, CrossFit is located on Mill Street, right behind or right next to Taylor Auto, 102 Mill Street, and then our insurance agency will be 104 Mill Street. So it's under construction right now, should be done in January, and then we'll have a big old thing.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing a grand reopening of the insurance office.
Yeah. It'll be
awesome.
Good.
Well, congratulations on that, the new business venture and everything that comes with that. And thank you again for coming on and sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.